Hey YouTube fam and tribe, in this video I really want to share with you something really special here and something that's really going to help you break free and help you with manifesting, attracting your SP, help you live life in your terms. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to focus on one thing here. And this is what most people don't talk about here, that don't share with you. I'm not just regurgitating information from a million other people. And right now I do look sweaty, so I just got done filming a video for the tribe. So if you're not part of the tribe, the link is in the description, so check that out. But I look all sweaty because I was in the kitchen. The kitchen was hot, and I just got done with the video, and I come in here wanting to share this thought with you. And this is almost going to be an only tribe video, but I thought I would share this with everybody because I think this has a good point, and I think this is really a concept that most people miss. And I'm not going to do fancy editing on this video. I got some stuff written down on both screens, so I'm going to read it to you. I'm not going to share the screen with you to keep this kind of simple to the point. And but anyway, what we're going to talk about today is you don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate. I'm going to say this one more time. Is you don't get what you want out of life. You get what you tolerate out of life. And when we say this, everything is connected. Okay, you have to understand, okay, your subconscious mind, you're programming it all day long. And I'm going to read some stuff to you over here that I wrote down and to kind of keep it more on point. But I'm going to say this one more time to let it sink in. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. What do I mean by that? Is you see, the basics to this is we have to have frame, standards, and boundaries in our life. And lots of times people just click off, once you say frame, standards, and boundaries, they think you're going to talk about, well, Chad, you're talking about relationships. Chad, you're talking about manifesting your SP. And yes, when you're talking about relationships, when you talk about SP work, trying to move stuff out of my way, yes, it is all about frame, standards, or boundaries. Okay, if you have no frame, standards, and boundaries, well, 100%, that's why you come off like a geek. You know what I mean? That's why you come off obsessed. That's why you come off like you don't have a life with the person you're trying to attract. Okay, but what you have to understand and what people don't get is having frame, standards, and boundaries is you need to have it in all areas of your life. Okay, who you are in one area of your life is who you are in every single area. And a walk away here, before we jump over to the screen here, is what's happening is when I have standards and boundaries, I'm really deep down, what's really happening, I'm communicating to my subconscious mind what I tolerate. Because all it does is tell the subconscious mind, this is what I'm tolerating and this is okay. This is normal. Okay, let me put a spin on this. If you go to work and you tolerate your boss talking down to you every single day, well, that's what you're going to get out of life. Those are things that are going to come to you more because you're communicating to your subconscious mind. You're okay with it. You're okay with people talking like crap to you. Okay. Bottom line, okay, if another example, if you go to a nice restaurant, you're paying pretty good money to be there. It doesn't matter. You could be paying $100 for a steak. You know what I mean? If I order a porterhouse, I order a filet mignon, and they ask me, hey Chad, how do you want it cooked? And I say medium rare, and they bring it to me, and you can just look at it and it's well done. Well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buckle and be like, oh, okay, I'll just eat it? And the whole time you're eating it, you're whining and complaining. Then you get in the car and you whine and complain about it. They didn't even cook my steak right. I'm never coming back there. Then you go a week later, and then you go to work and you talk about it. Yeah, we went out to this great restaurant. They overcooked my steak. You know what I mean? Then a month later, you still bring it up. Okay? All you're doing is communicating to your subconscious mind. That's what you're tolerating, and that's what keeps on coming into your life. Rather than, even Neville Goddard talks about this. Okay, and I won't go off on a tangent. I have the biggest playlist on Neville Goddard on YouTube. Go to his playlist on my channel. This is really him, his authentic trainings. Okay, check that out. Okay, even Neville Goddard says, someone messes up your food order, call over the waiter or waitress and say, hey, sorry, I told you medium rare. This is obviously well done. Can you remake me a steak? Okay, because Again, never got or knew. Never got or the law of assumption really was identity work. Okay, that's really what he taught. He didn't teach manifesting. He taught identity work. So he knew what you tolerate is going to come to you. What you tolerate is going to be a self-reflection in the 3D world. So let me jump over here. I'm going to read some stuff to you. And, I got it written down over here on this screen. And then we'll kind of wrap this baby up. And we'll see kind of how I edit it. But we're kind of go with the flow here. This is all about the information. But this is so good when I wrote this out. Wanted to share it with you. And put the screen down. So I already explained. Okay, there's a direct link from you don't get out of life what you want, you get what you tolerate, but there's a direct link between what you tolerate and subconscious mind programming. So we're going to jump right into subconscious mind programming here. You see, your subconscious mind doesn't respond to your wishes, it responds to your standards. Okay, this is why I brought up having frames, standards, and boundaries. I'll read it one more time to you because you really need to get this. You really need to walk away with this. You guys are not practicing what you preach. You guys are like, Chad, just tell me how to do this. Or I see you on other guys' YouTube channels and you're asking the same shit, but you're not practicing what you preach because you're looking for the shortcut and things, and there are no shortcuts, baby. You got to go through the work. You got to go through the mess yourself. Okay? It's messy. When you do identity work, this stuff is messy. When you're really trying to figure this stuff out, this stuff is messy. Okay? This isn't just all flowers or rainbows. I almost said flowers or Rambo. But let me read it one more time. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to your wishes. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to your wants and desires. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to your dream house, your dream car. You want to be a multimillionaire. It doesn't respond to that. Listen, your subconscious mind only responds to your standards you have around your life. Okay? Listen, it mirrors the energy and identity you habitually embody. Holy donkey shit, okay? Being funny here, being funny with you guys today. Listen, this is the mirror principle, okay? Your subconscious mind responds to your standards. Your standards is just a mirror. Your subconscious mind is mirroring your energy, okay? This is the basics to the mirror principle. It's mirroring your energy and identity that you do on habit. Bottom line, your standards and boundaries are everything you do on habit. That's what it's saying. It's the mirror principle. It's mirroring you. It's mirroring everything inside you. What you secretly think, what you secretly believe. You can't play the subconscious mind, baby. Okay, listen. If you keep tolerating delays, chaos, disrespect, or lack, your subconscious assumes that it's normal. It says, okay, this is what we do now. Okay, it's basically saying, listen, if I tolerate delays, people always being late. Okay, if I make an appointment, they show up an hour late or they don't show up at all. I don't say nothing. I tolerate it. Just giving you some examples here. I tolerate chaos. I tolerate chaotic environments. Okay, I tolerate disrespect. We talk about this one. Okay, a lot of you guys go to work and you're disrespected by your coworkers or your boss or the CEO. Okay, you tolerate lack. You tolerate poverty. Okay, you tolerate living in a poverty environment. Okay, that's what all this stuff means. Listen, when you tolerate all this stuff, your subconscious assumes that it is normal. And if your subconscious mind assumes that this is normal, this is what normally happens in your life, this is normal to you, okay? It says, this is your subconscious mind, it says, okay, this is what we do. Okay, Chad must like this. That's what it's really saying. Chad must like this. So if Chad likes it, this is what Chad accepts. He isn't complaining about it. He isn't stopping it. I'm going to give him more of it. That's what's really going on. Listen, you might want wealth, love, or freedom, but if you subconsciously accept less, you'll keep manifesting the life you're willing to put up with. Isn't that amazing? I'll read it to you one more time. I hate to do this to you, but this is really a really short read, and it's really powerful when I wrote it out. Listen, we all want, all of us, okay? It might be in different forms. You might want wealth, whatever wealth means to you. You might want love. You might want freedom. You might want to live life in your terms, do what you want, when you want, whenever you want. But there's a big but with this. And this is what you need to walk away with. But if you subconsciously accept less, meaning you don't have standards and boundaries around your life, you'll keep manifesting the life you're willing to put up with. Which is, what is it saying? Which is, you're tolerating all the delays and chaos and disrespecting your life. You're tolerating it. Listen, in the beginning of the video, I talked about identity and self-concept. It's a mirror. This is kind of going in more of a deeper mirror, the mirror effect, or the mirror manifestation. If I had a brain fart there, I'm sorry. You see, manifesting isn't about begging for better. It's about becoming the version of you who no longer tolerates less. Listen to this. This is identity work. Okay, when you're that most successful version of you, do you think that most successful version of you is going to have boundaries and standards around their life? Hell yes. Okay, they are. Okay, this is why it says, is manifesting isn't about begging for better. It's about becoming the version of you who doesn't tolerate less. Okay, you have strong standards and boundaries, what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate. You see, the most successful version of you and the most successful people in the world, they don't tolerate stuff. Okay, if it's beneath them, they stop it. And if they can't stop it, they remove themselves from that environment. Bottom line. Okay, listen. That one shift changes everything. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. This means manifesting is about your baseline, not your desire list. I'll read it one more time. You don't get what you want, you get what you tolerate. But this means with manifesting is about your baseline and not your desire list. What is your baseline? So your baseline is your standards and boundaries. The baseline is when it becomes push to shove to you, what are you really going to put up with? Because what you really put up with, that's what you're manifesting in your life. Okay? Listen, your inner self says, I don't tolerate debt. I don't tolerate toxic people. I don't tolerate playing small. Your external reality, your 3D world, starts to catch up very quickly. And you'll notice this. I mean, do this for 2 weeks, and this will transform your flipping life, baby. I mean, really, if you're seriously about this, try this for 2 weeks. Create standards and boundaries, and just have fun with this. Be a kid with this. Act as if, and whatever you don't tolerate, whatever crosses those standards and boundaries, you stop it or you remove yourself from that environment, and you're fine very quickly. Your life will transform super quick. Listen, your inner self, when you set standards and boundaries, I'll reread it. When you set standards and boundaries, when your inner self says, I don't tolerate debt, I don't tolerate getting in debt, I don't tolerate toxic people, I'm not going to put myself around toxic people, I'm not going to put myself around people who disrespect me, and if people disrespect me, I'm going to confront it right then and there. And if they can't stop, well, I'm going to remove myself from them. Bottom line, I won't tolerate it. Okay? I don't tolerate playing small. Okay? I don't tolerate poverty. I don't tolerate going to the cheapest fucking restaurant. Okay? If they cook my food wrong, I don't tolerate it. I tell them to fix it because I'm paying for it. I'm not eating it for free, baby. I'm paying for the food. I don't tolerate playing small. And this might sound like an ego trip, but you gotta accept my challenge here. The challenge is try this for 2 weeks. Okay? And listen, your external reality, your 3D world starts to catch up really quick. It starts to mimic your standards and boundaries. It starts to mimic what you're really tolerating in life, around your life, around everything. Now, this is the last little piece I want to share with you. And since I brought up Neville Goddard, since I brought up law of assumption, I want to throw in Neville Goddard here. And I might repeat myself, but this is short, sweet, to the point. Listen, Neville Goddard would say, You are free to assume whatever state you desire. Okay, if you follow Never Galder, I know he's passed away, but you follow his material, you probably heard him say this in his live lectures. You're free to assume whatever state you desire. But here's the truth most people skip. Here's the truth that most people don't understand. You can't just assume a new state. You must evict the old one. Listen, this is identity work. You can't just assume a new state. You must evict the old one. What that means, you must burn your old identity. There's only one identity at one time. It's either the most successful version of you, or you're still hanging on to your old identity. One is operating over the other. Okay, it's not two at the same time. Okay, one is more dominant. And the fastest way to do that, you refuse to tolerate it. You have standards and boundaries around your life, and you know what your standards and boundaries are. And you will uphold your standard and boundaries because that's communicating to your subconscious mind. That's a direct link to what's manifesting into your life. And listen, that refusal is the assumption of something better. But other than that, my friends, YouTube fam tribe, just want to share that with you. I know that this could have been all over the place. I don't know until I kind of jump in and do a soft edit through here. But I just want to share those meat and potatoes and kind of share a spin on it, what most people don't talk about. So if you got a lot out of this, comment below. Remember, if you want to be part of the tribe, the link is in the description. If you want to work with me, the link is in the description again. And since we're talking about identity work, since we're jumping into this stuff, is I do have a 30-day breakthrough challenge that you want to check out. The link is in the description. And check that out because this is where we really go deep into identity work. We really go deep to the core of why things are not working. And this is related to everything, baby. It doesn't matter if you're trying to manifest your dream car, your dream house, you want to be an entrepreneur, a multimillionaire, if you want to just your dream job and your dream career. You could be wanting to manifest your SP. It doesn't matter because when you go to the root, you go to the core, it exposes everything. You get me on that? So check that out. Check out the 30-day challenge and maybe I'll see you inside there. Other than that, comment below. Remember, I love you guys and I'll see you in the next video.